Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mandy. In today's video, we're going to talk about the clothes radical. Now let's get the 田字格 ready and the pens ready. First of all, let's take a look at the clothes character. 一 it's the clothes character. And here is the evolution of the E character. You can see it's evolved from the shape of the Chinese traditional clothes. And the Chinese traditional clothes is named hanfu. Actually, hanfu is getting more and more popular in the last few years. It's a big trend for young people to wear different type of the hanfu from different dynasty. If you are going to travel to China, then you can see a lot of hanfu renting shops in the historical site. Actually, you can rent those hanfu and put up the makeup and then take photos at the historical site. Okay, so back to the clothes character. Now we're turning it into the clothes radical. So there are two forms. The form number one is that you squeeze it to the bottom. Make it small. Here. Or the second form will be on the left, but look different. This. So these are the clothes radical. But I want to point out that you need to be very careful. The clothes radical, it has two dots in here. Because there's another very similar radical, it looks like this. Only one dot, okay? So there is only one dot. And this is the God-related radical. But wait a minute, how come? It's just slightly different, but the meaning is completely different. Well, they have a very different origin. The clothes radical is originated from the shape of the clothes. And as for the God-related radical, it originated from the character, which means God sign. And we will talk about the God-related radical in the next video. So stay tuned. In this video, we're going to dive into the clothes radical. So clothes radical, obviously, it's related to the clothes. Now let's get to some example. The example with the first form. This one. The first character. 装 装 which means costume. Costume. For example, we can say 男 装 男装 男 is for men or male. 装 is costume. So 男装 is the male clothes. Just male clothes. So with the same logic, we can say 女 装 女 is the female. 装 is costume. So 女装 is just female clothes, women clothes. Okay? And we can also say西装 西 Western 装 costume. So obviously it's the clothes that's from the West. So it's suit. So with the same logic, can I say Chinese clothes is 中装 like this? 中装 Zhong can stand for 中国 Chinese. 装 can stand for costume and clothes. So together, can it make Chinese clothes? Yup, that would make sense. But usually we don't say 中装. If you are referring to the Chinese traditional clothes, we would say that's 汉服. Okay, 汉服. Han. Fu. The Han stand for the ethnic group in China. It's the Han ethnic group in China. It's the majority in China. And Fu, it could also mean clothes. Like I mentioned before in the beginning of this video, Hanfu, there are many different styles of Hanfu based on different dynasty. And the zhuang is not only just refers to the costume, it also have some other meaning. So let's extend it a little bit. The zhuang, it could be costumes. And let's talk about the second meaning of zhuang. That would be to store as a verb, to store. For example, 装 东西 装东西 to store things 东西 things, so to store things. Let me give you a sentence. You can say 我把手机装进包里 Okay, let's see. 我 is I. 把 the 把 sentence. The 把 sentence, you can say somebody 把 somebody or something, and then plus the verb. It's the pattern is like somebody have something done. So let's put it in the sentence. So 把 we know that it's a grammar particle. Okay, so it's kind of like the English have. have something done. Okay, and then 手机 is phone. 装 is to store. 进 is enter, and here you can say into. 包包 is bag. It could be school bag, handbag, just bag. 里 inside. Okay, so which means I have the phone stored into the bag. So make it sound more English, which means I put my phone in the bag. Okay, let's continue. The third meaning of the 装, it could also mean to install. For example, 安装 安装 install. Let's be more specific. We can install computer, right? So 安装电脑电 electricity. Now we have a body. Yeah, we have a body radical here, so we know it's body related. And the now would be brain. And 电脑 together, electric brain, that is computer, because computer is smart, right? So 安装电脑 installed computer. Or you can also say 安装软件。安装 is to install. 软件 software. So 安装软件 installed software. And the fourth meaning of 装, yeah, I know there's a lot. And the fourth meaning of 装 would be pretend or disguise. For example, you can say 假装假装 The 假 means fake, and 装 is to pretend. So altogether, it just make pretend. 假装. Let me give you a sentence. We can say 他假装听不到 我的话。Okay, so let's see. 他 is he. 假装 pretend. 听不到 we know 听 is to listen. And 不到 is the complement of 听. It gives the detail to the 听. And 不到 means not successful. Okay, so 听不到 is listen but not successful. Let's be more English, and that would be cannot hear. Right, so 我的 my 话 speak or speech. So altogether, 他假装听不到我的话 He pretend cannot hear my speaking. To be more English, he pretend he cannot hear me. Okay, so that's enough of the 装. Let's get to the next character. 袋 is a bag or a pocket. For example, we can say 口袋 口 easy, it means mouth. 袋 is the pocket. 口袋 together, it just means pocket in general. You can picture that having a pocket on the clothes is like there's an opening mouth on your clothes where you can put things in. And more example with the 袋. 塑料袋塑料 is plastic. 袋 is the bag. So 塑料袋 plastic bag. I know, plastic bag is not that environment friendly. Let's get to paper bag. Paper bag. 纸袋纸 is paper. 袋 is bag. So 纸袋 is paper bag. But here I want to present you another word for the bag, which is 包 包 it could be bag as well, and it has some other meaning, but we'll talk about that later. But first of all, let's take a look at the 包 meaning bag. 书包书 is the book and 包 is the bag. So 书包 it means book bag or school bag. And the next example, you can say 皮包皮 which means leather. 包 is the bag. 皮包, leather bag. Okay? Let me give you one more example. 钱包. The 钱, we've mentioned about it several times, and it has a metal radical on the left, right? And the 钱 means money. 包 is bag. So money, bag, make wallet. Okay. So now let's take a look at the 袋和包. You see the combination of them. For the 袋, we have 口袋, 塑料袋, 纸袋. And for the 包, we have 书包, 皮包, 钱包. So we can see they can all means bag, but the 袋 focus on the function, focus on the bag that can store things. And for the 包, it focus on the design, like handbag, wallet, leather bag, etc. Okay? And we just mentioned that 包 have some other meaning. Now let's talk about the other meaning of the 包, which means bread or bun. For example, 面包, 面包. The 面, it could be flour, and the 包 is bread. So together it's just bread. 面包. And that's all you need to know about the 包. Let's continue the next example. 才 have several meanings. First meaning, which means to cut. For example, to cut fabrics, to cut paper, the cut. Now let's say 裁 剪 裁剪 裁 means the cut. 剪 also cut. Together, obviously, they are the cut. And I also want to point out that underneath the 剪, which is this part, this is the knife radical. So knife radical is related to cutting, and we will talk about the knife radical in details in the upcoming videos. Now let's be more specific. Let's say to cut the fabrics. Okay, fabrics. 布 料 布料 is fabrics. So to cut the fabrics, you can say 裁剪布料. And actually, it's a very, very formal word. If you want to make it casual and shorter, then you can say 裁布 or just 剪布. Okay? So 裁剪布料, very formal. And 裁布剪布 also works, and they are more casual. And the second example, 裁缝裁缝 The cai, which means to cut, and the feng, I think you might notice it at the left side of the feng. Here is the silk radical. And the silk radical is related to the fabrics. And the feng, it means to sew or to sew up. Okay, so to cut and to sew, this person is a tailor. 裁缝. Now let's get to the second meaning of 裁. The 裁 could also refers to reduce. So it's like the extension of cut, right? If you cut something off, then there will be a reduction. There will be reduce. Okay, and reduce, we can have裁减 裁减 裁 means reduce, and 减 subtract or decrease. So 裁减 altogether, it just means reduce. 裁减. We can say 裁减人员裁减人员 The 人员, we can see a people here, and the 员 refers to a staff, employee, and 人员, it just means employee or staff. So 裁减人员, it means to reduce the employees, to lay off employee. And 裁减人员, if you want to make it shorter, you can just say 裁员. 裁员 is short for 裁减人员. Okay, let's get to the third meaning of the 裁. The 裁could also mean decide. I think it also makes sense because when you're going to cut off something, when you're going to reduce something, you need to decide which part you're keeping, which part you're dropping. For the decide, we can have裁判. Yeah. 裁判. For the 裁, it could mean to decide. And 判, it could also mean decide or to judge. So 裁判 together, it could mean a judge. But it's not the judge in the court. It's the judge in a game or a competition. Yeah, for example, in a football game, right? In a football game, there will be a judge, and that would be 裁判. Then how do you say the judge in the court? Well, that's another word. I will show you here. Fa. Guan, 法官. The 法 means law, and the 官 means officer. So 法官, the law officer. So that is the judge in the court. Let's continue with the second form of the clothes radical. The second form is the one on the left side. This one. The first one. Cool. Cool means pants. Okay, I know. Maybe some of you have watched my previous video about the car radical. This one, this is the car radical. So why do you have a car here? Well, we should take these as a part. You have this and this. This is cool, and obviously cool和cool, it's the sound radical here. Okay, it gives this cool sound to the cool. It will not give the meaning to the cool. As for the meaning of it, actually, it means a garage. Yeah, the car in the building is garage. And we will talk about the building radical in the upcoming videos. Okay, let's go back to the cool. Cool, it's pants. So to say pants in general, we say裤子. 裤子, just pants in general. If you want to be more specific, you can say 长裤. Chang ku. Long pants, long trousers. And we can also have短,裤, 短裤, short pants, short trousers. And let's move on to the next one. Chun. Chun, it could be the dress or skirt. Okay, so to say dress or skirt in general,裙子. 裙子 is just dress or skirt. But what if I want to be more specific? I want to talk about the dress like this and the skirt like this. And let me give you the word for both style. For the dress like this, we say连衣裙. 连, we just mentioned about it in the car radical videos. It means link. 衣, we know that. It means clothes. 裙 is the dress. So 连衣裙 should be the dress that link the upper clothes and the bottom skirt. And as for the skirt, and then we can say ban, shen,群. Ban is half. Shen is body. 裙 dress. 半身裙 half body dress. So it's not including the upper clothes. Moving on to the next one. Wa. Wa is the socks. So to say socks in general, we can say 袜子, 袜子 socks. Okay, wait a second. Why there's so many 子? 裤子, 裙子, 袜子. Why do you have the 子? Is it necessary? Actually, it is necessary in modern Chinese. Let me show you some example. As you can see on the left side, these are the word without the 字, and they're completely fine. They have their own meaning. But in modern Chinese, we prefer to say them with the 字. There are mainly two reasons. Reason number one is that we can turn a single syllable words into a double syllable words, which make it clear to pronounce and you will not miss it in a sentence. Reason number two is that we can turn a verb into a noun or an adjective into a noun. So it's kind of changing the word. Of course, we have other reasons why we add the 字 in it, but these two are the main reason to explain why we have so many 字 in the modern Chinese. Okay, so back to this and let's continue with the next example. We have 袖. 袖 meaning sleeves. So again, we can say 袖子. 袖子 to mean sleeves. And to be more specific, we can say 长袖,短袖. Just like 长裤,短裤, we can also say 长袖,短袖. And you can practice by yourself. I believe you can do it. So moving on, we've been talking about so many different clothes. But what if there is no clothes? What if that person is naked? And that also comes with the clothes radical. The next example. 裸. 裸, it means naked. Okay, so let's take a look at the right side of it. This one. I hope you still remember it. We have a wood radical right here, right? This is 果. 果, 裸. So obviously it serves as a sound radical here. And maybe some of you would remember I've talked about it in the wood radical video. And the 果 itself, it means fruit. But in this case, the 裸 and the 果, here it only serves as a sound radical. It would not bring the fruit meaning to the naked word. Okay, So 裸, let's get to some word. 裸 T. 裸 naked. T is the body, because we just talk about it in the People Radical video. People Radical. Okay? 裸体, it just means naked body or naked. And the next example, 裸 色 裸 is naked, or it could be nude. 色 is color, so 裸色 it's the nude color. Let's continue. And the next one, 补 meaning supplement, or it could also be repair. Because if your clothes got broken, then you need to repair it, right? So to say repair the clothes, we can say 缝 补 衣 服 缝 we just mentioned it a few minutes ago. We have the silk radical on the left, and silk radical is related to the fabrics. 缝 is to sew or sew up, and 补 supplement or repair. So 缝补 is to sew up and repair. 衣服 is clothes, and 衣 is for clothes, 服 is also for clothes. When they put together, it's also clothes. We can also say 补 充 补充. It could be a verb and it could be a noun, which means supplement. For example, it's very important to have vitamin supplement, right? So let's say supplement the vitamin. That would be 补充 维 生 素. So actually, I think 维生素 is an interesting word to talk about. 维 it means to maintain. 生 could mean alive. 素 it means element. So the element that maintain you alive, to keep you alive, that is vitamin. Okay, I just want to extend a little bit about how we got the 维生素 for vitamin. This is how we translate it. Vitamin. And it used to translate into 维他命. See, it sounds more closer to the vitamin. 维他命. And as for the 维他命, it means maintain. And 他, we know that is his, so it's people's. And 命 is life, so maintain people's life. This is the translation in the old version, and later 维他命 was modified to 维生素 because it sounds more scientific. Nowadays, people are using both of them. People can understand both of them. And if you want to be very specific, you say vitamin C, for example, you just need to say 维他命 C or 维生素 C in this way. Let's continue. The next example is被. The first meaning and the most important meaning of 被 would be the blanket or the quilt. We can say被子. It just means blanket or quilt. And the second meaning of the 被 is pretty abstract. It could be the passive marker in a sentence. Okay, the pattern is A,被, B, verb. Usually come with a L.他被老板叫去开会了. Okay, so 他 he, 被 is the passive marker, right? 老板 boss, 叫 is call, 去 is go, 开会 have a meeting. 了 it just could be the past tense, ed. So 他被老板叫去开会了. He, passive. The boss called to go to have a meeting. To translate it in the English way is that he was called by the boss to have a meeting. Here is one more example. It could also be A, 被, just the verb, sometimes come with the 了. This way. For example, 他 贝才圆了 right 他 is he 被 is the passive marker 裁员 we just mentioned about it a few minutes ago lay off 了 is like to the ed so 他被裁员了 he's been laid off let's get to the last character with the clothes radical in this video 出 which means beginning okay on the right side of the 出 this is the ninth radical because we just mentioned about it in here 裁剪 the 剪 underneath there is the knife radical the 出 the original meaning of 出 it means use your knife to start to cut the fabrics and nowadays the 出 refers to beginning let's get to some word we can say年初 so 年 is the year 初 is the beginning so 年初 is the beginning of the year with the same logic you can also say月初月 it could be the month 初 is the beginning 月初 the beginning of the month but okay so I got it can I say 天初天初天 is the day and 初 is the beginning so can I say 天初 the beginning of the day well to be honest no I know it sounds logical and it sounds like it should make sense, but no, we don't say 天初. Usually we just say 早上 or we can say 一天的开始a day's start, which means the beginning of the day. And then moving on, some more practical words. We can say 初级初级 beginning 级 is the stair or level so 初级 beginning level or beginner level and for the beginner the beginning learner we can say 初学者初 is beginning 学 study 者 it could refer to a people. 初学者 beginning study people is the beginner learner. And the last word for the 初 初次 beginning. The 次 could mean time. So 初次 it means first time. And I know some of you might know that we have a different word for first time. That should be 第一次 D is kind of like the number something, and then 一 is just one, 次 is times. So 第一次 the number one time, first time. So both of them, 初次 第一次 they all mean first time. The only difference is that 初次 sounds a little bit more official and 第一次 sounds more casual. That's all for today's video. I hope you enjoy it and you learned something from this video. If you like this video, don't forget to like the video. And if you want the practice sheet, you can download it on my website. And I'll also drop the link down below in the description box. I hope you have fun with it. I'm Mandy. I'll see you in the next video.